Hey y'all, it's Diane with Shawcraft One and my old barn door, and I'm coming to you today with a different kind of, it's not really a journal, but it is a journal. It's a wedding guest book that can be used as a journal afterwards. And kind of the way my intention for it to be used is for it to be at the wedding for all of your friends and family to put notes in it, sign it, put scriptures, messages to you, advice, whatever they want to put in it, wherever they want to put it inside here. And then afterwards, you can journal in it, and after the wedding, you can journal in it and make your notes in it and put pictures in it and things like that. So that's kind of what this is. So I'm calling it a wedding guest book. So we'll just get started. I wanted it to be very neutral because I want any bride to be able to use it in her wedding. So I wanted, I didn't put a lot of color in it. I didn't put a lot of pockets in it. So I'll just kind of show you the details. I just tied it with this really soft lace closure. It's beautiful, beautiful lace, and it's so soft. So I just tied it there, and we'll just check everything out. So on the front cover, I have lots and lots of layers, and I don't know if you can see real well or not. I hope you can. But I just kind of did, there's a stick pin that I made there, lots of frillies sticking out of the flower. I just put one big flower, and there's a doily underneath, but it kind of got covered up with the flower. So and then lots of pearls, because who doesn't have a wedding without pearls? And then lots of layering with different laces on here as well. So, and I don't know if you can tell, but underneath the lace, I put dictionary pages that have the definitions of all different kinds of words that go with a wedding, like bride, groom, ceremony, marriage, things like that. And then I wanted it to look very, very vintage. And so I left all of the strings from the sewing that I did inside the book. I don't know if you can see that or not. But I left that just because I want it to look old and tattered and very, very vintage, but classy at the same time. And as you can see on the edge of the pages, a lot of the pages have lace page tabs. I did some gold edging around the edge of the book. On the spine, you can see where I just put lace, and I also sewed it with very thin, like an ivory cream colored ribbon, and then I put pearls on each side. And this, on the back side, you can kind of see a little better the dictionary pages that I put in there. So I kind of put the lace over it just because I wanted it on there, and I think it's really pretty, so it kind of hides the definitions. But okay, so we'll just go on in because we got a lot to show you, and I don't want the video to be too long. So let me make sure I'm getting this set the way. There's also cheesecloth, coffee stained cheesecloth on there. There's so many layers in this in the front of it that I don't even think I could show you all the layers. So I wanted the book again to be very simple, because I want the bride to be able to use it with whatever theme her wedding is. So in the front, I just put her a little pocket, and inside there's a letter for the bride and groom to explain to them how the book is intended. And then you can also, let me see if I can find of course I can't find the card right now. Hang on. But it's a pocket behind it as well. And then A lot of the pages have stamping, and some of them I've put scriptures. Like this one says, above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. And that's John 15:12. I don't know if I'm holding this book correctly so that you can see well or not. A lot of the pages I made look very old and vintage. I tore them, and well, it was coffee stained, and then I tore the pages and I inked around the edges. A lot of them I did stamping on, like I said. Put some music sheets in here. I didn't put a lot of pockets in this book because I want the bride and the groom to be able to put pictures. I want people to have room to sign. There are pockets, but just not overloaded with pockets like I usually tend to do in my junk journals. So, and I love this, that whoever took this music course made little notes in it. So I thought that was really cool. I do have just some cream or ivory colored line paper in there. Doily. There's some more stamping, and there's one of those page tabs sewn on. And then here's a pocket. And I used a lot of the eyelet trim, and so I did some embroidered tags. And then, like I say, I didn't put a whole lot of color in here, but you can just see like a little touch of color every now and again. So, but it doesn't make it to where it has to be that theme of a color. So, just another little tag that I put in the side just to kind of show them that there's a pocket there. Here's another scripture. It says, let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that you may know how you ought to answer every man. Some more lined paper, and I'm going to flip through kind of fast. Looks like my page got a little stuck. I did put some bags, some coffee dyed bags in here, but I didn't put anything in the bags because I want them to be able to put their keepsakes in it. There's I love the way the coffee staining came out on this, or coffee dyed, or whichever. Here's a pocket, and it just has, again, you can see just a touch of color, and then all the tags that have color are removable, and these are just some of my scrap tags that I make, and I made them look old. A couple of journaling cards. And each signature, the center of the signature, has an envelope that hides the tie. So there's nothing in the envelopes, but gives them room to put more of their keepsakes and things like that. Oops, sorry. And then I'll put a lace pocket here, and it has another scripture. Ecclesiastes 4:9, 2 are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Also, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? And I just thought that was the coolest scripture to go with a wedding. So, anyway, just put little scriptures throughout. And then a little journal card, and it just opens up. They can use it for either journaling on or putting pictures on. Another bag. More lined paper. And whatsoever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men. Colossians 3:23. And I think that each of these scriptures goes with a marriage, a wedding, a relationship. There's another tag. So just put very delicate little decorations on the pockets. There's a doily. I'm going to try and flip through a little faster, because if not, it's going to take us forever to do this, because there's 5 signatures. So that's the end of the first signature. Let's see. Ephesians 5:25, for husbands, this means love your wives just as Christ loved the church. He gave up his life for her. So I like that cool little scripture there. There's another page tab, some more little tags, and just a little bit more of the eyelash trim. And here I didn't put a pocket, but I clipped on a bag, just a little glassine bag. Actually, it's made from parchment paper. I made it from parchment paper, and I just put a couple little journaling cards, and then I put some ribbon and some eyelash trim on the paper clip. I'm going to try and count these pages. Well, I'm not going to be able to. I'll put that information in the description box below. I'll put how many pages that it has. Oh, sorry. I didn't give the measurements of this journal, though, and I need to do that real quick. I believe it is 8 3/4. Whoops. By 5 3/4. So that's the size of the journal. But I will put information on how many pages are in here in the description box below. And then this is just another little tuck. This is just a pocket that I made. Another envelope. That's the center of that signature. Sorry about bumping the camera. There's the other side of that pocket, and this is just extra room for journaling or pictures. And then this is a little pocket too. There's just a little journal card. This is another one of those paper clips that I did the ribbon and the eyelash trim on, but I also kind of tucked it, I don't know, I guess it's called a floating pocket. So you can take this pocket off and move it anywhere in the book that you want to. But I love the vintage appearance, how old and tattered it looks. I wanted it to look really old, but I also wanted it to have some new stuff in it. So I wanted to read you this scripture here. This is the beginning of the third signature, Song of Solomon 3:4. But I found him whom my soul loveth. I held him and would not let him go. So a lot of times we, when we interpret scriptures, we don't see it the way it's really written. So I always like to go back and read the ones and that's one of my favorite scriptures. So this is just a really cool verse about keeping peace. So I thought that went well for a marriage / wedding. There's a heart-shaped doily. This is a vintage, I think it was a, I think it was like a placemat, a table placemat. So I just made a pocket out of it, and I put a little tag inside, and then I made outside pockets to where you can put tags or pictures or whatever, but I just put something in there so that they can see that, there's the center of the signature, that it's pockets. And there's the other one, and it's a pocket up inside there. There's another bag for goodies and keepsakes and tickets and notes and all kinds of stuff. There's a banner with a tuck. This is a really cool passage that talks about how you should live. So I thought that went well with a marriage. This is Genesis 2:24. Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And you know, when you become one flesh, you have to deal with a lot from that other person. And there's just a embossed tag, and then a journaling card, and then this is a little envelope. And again, like I say, everything that has color is removable. This is my favorite poem of all time. It is by E.E. Cummings, and if you have time to pause the camera and read it, it is amazing. It is an awesome, awesome poem. So, and it talks about how, it's just kind of a love poem. There's another banner with an index card. There's some more scripture. There's the center of the 4th signature. And there's another pocket that I made, and then it's a little tuck on this side. Hope you guys can see okay. I'm trying to make sure that you can. There's just a lace pocket that I've sewn on, and then it has a journaling card, another cool, really cool scripture. I love this one. Song of Solomon 8, 6, and 7. Set me as a seal upon your heart, as a seal upon your arm, for love is strong as death. Jealousy is fierce as the grave. Its flashes are flashes of fire, the very flame of the Lord. Many waters cannot quench love, neither can floods drown it. If a man offered for love all the wealth of his house, he would be utterly despised. And I just think that that is the coolest scripture about love. And of course it's in the love book, Song of Solomon. So, and then behind there I just have a little bag attached to another one of those paper clips that's got the eyelash trim and ribbons, and it's just got a little journaling card in there. Oops. So there's lots of pages for journaling and notes. Here's another scripture. This is the last signature, Colossians 3:14. And over all these virtues put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. And I thought that that was the perfect scripture to end the last signature. There's another lace pocket, and I just put them in an extra little envelope, and then a journal card in there just to show them, you know, that it's a pocket. Some more lined paper, and even with the stamping on the lined paper, you can write on top of that. There's a pocket. It's actually an envelope pocket, and I just have them a little extra journaling card in there. And then this is just a little book that I made from extra paper that I had, coffee dyed paper. And again, everything that has the color you can remove if you don't want that color in your guest book. There's another bag. And this here is called paper ribbon, and I learned how to do that from Lindsay Zenor, and I will try to link her channel below because I just thought that was the coolest thing. There's a guest check and a coin envelope, and then I just put a little tag in the coin envelope to show them that they can use it for putting stuff in, use it as a pocket. This is a passage of scripture, and it's really hard to see because when it printed out very faded, but I loved it the way that it printed out. So it's Psalms 91, or Psalm 91. So if you want to go check that out, you can. There's the center of the last signature with an envelope. I love how this paper turned out. There's a pocket, and I just put some little, this is from, let's see, this paper pad, Something Blue by Prima, and I just put them a few little things in there to be able to decorate a little more in their book if they wanted to. And then another one of my scrap tags that I just inked up and put some eyelash trim on. See if I can help myself here. Excuse me. And then on this pocket, I made it out of banners, but I did it as a pocket instead of at the top. And I put a little tag. This comes from that Something Blue paper pad. And then this verse, husbands, love your wives. And then it talks about how Christ loved the church. Anyway, it's a cool scripture. Check it out. Ephesians 5:25 through 33. It's quite long, so I won't read the whole thing, but it's a really good scripture for marriage. And then there's another bag. More music paper. I love how grungy this paper turned out. And then in the back, I put a pocket, and it's made out of book page with stamping on it, and I put it's a pocket behind, and then I put just a couple of tags. It's actually 1, 2, 3. It's a triple pocket. So, and I believe I learned how to do this from Patricia Viramontes. So I will try to link her channel below too. Go check her out because she's got some amazing ideas. So, and then the scripture that I put here, I thought was very fitting for the end of the book. It's Mark 10:9. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. And I just thought that was really, really cool scripture to end the book with. So that is my wedding guest album. If you guys are interested, I will be posting this in my Etsy store. I don't think I'll be posting it today because it's late and it's very cloudy and rainy, so I don't think that I will be able to get good enough pictures today. So it will probably be up, what's today, Monday? You know what? I'll put it in the description box below when I will have it listed in my Etsy shop so that you guys can have a chance to go and take a peek at it. So if you like my video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Leave me any comments that you have, guys. I really appreciate your input. Y'all have a good day.